Okay, I just picked up this 1969 Hart trailer. It's a 2-horse trailer, and I am going to gut it and refinish it. And I've never done anything like this, but my goal is to turn it into like a food service truck to serve drinks out of. And let's have a check. Let's check it out here. It's got metal doors on the outside here, and then it's got wood slats on the inside. So depending on how those are looking, I'll remove all these. Definitely probably replace them with wood. I've got to figure out something, because these only go 3/4 of the way up. I'm gonna have to figure out something for the rest of it. It's got these wood slats on the inside as well. I'm gonna get rid of these. These are all old, probably original, honestly. They're so old. I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of the floors. They're disgusting. I'm scared. Just look what's underneath it. It's wood, but I don't know how good of wood it is. There is a lot of rust. A lot of rust that I'm gonna have to maybe even replace with angle grind. I got the trailer for $1,000, so it really wasn't a bad deal at all. We got a nice hornet's nest up here. Who else knows what's up here? Probably dead rats or something. There is some rust on the top. I'm gonna have to scrape all this off and treat it with some the stuff that converts rust. I don't know what, it's like some sort of spray paint that converts the rust. But it looks like it's going to be, oh, what's that? What's up top here? Oh, they added like this. They added something on top. I'm gonna have to get rid of that. But I saw a guy who basically got rid of the sidewalls and replaced them with wood slats, and I think I might do that because looking down here, it's all rusted out down there, so it might be easier to replace that with wood slats. This opens up. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Dead bees, some metal thing. I don't know what that is. It's looks like it's been dented. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to, it's like not only the outside that's dented, there's a bar inside, like a structural bar that's been dented. But I mean, it's 1969, so at this point it's 56 years old. So I don't know how much has been done to it, but I just drove it like 100 miles and it drove fine. So I'm thinking the axles are in pretty good shape, but I'm going to clean all those off, fix the rust. If I have to change the leaf springs, I will. But the trailer lights don't work. I'm gonna have to change that. The chain's broken off, so I've got to fix all the chain stuff. I might even extend this to make a place for propane. I don't know. Maybe propane can go underneath here. I don't know. Not quite sure yet, but yeah, this is a big project. It'll be cool. Made a little bit of progress on this trailer after a few hours. I got rid of the center divider thing. Went all the way up to the front here. And after looking at it, I decided I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to replace it with wood. And then I was looking at a video, and a guy who had redone a trailer, he had basically got rid of these side panels because they were so rusty, and just kept these vertical bars. And I think that's what I'm going to do. These are all going to go away because it rusts all the way down to the base here, to the floor. So I'm just going to get rid of these, and I'm going to replace it with slats of nice looking wood. So on the inside and outside it'll be wood. So kind of similar to that, but that wood is just on the inside. and then I'll treat it on the outside so it'll stay nice. But so I gutted a little bit of that, and then I got rid of this. I think it holds a saddle or something. I don't know what it was. It was inside of this front compartment here. Some of the problems I'm seeing, this is bent. It's like been hit, so I got to figure out how to push that, and it's bent over there too. I got to figure out how to push that out. So I don't know, I might have to replace that whole vertical support right there. So cut that out, hit the metal so it goes out, and then replace that beam. I don't know, I might have to do the same for this because it just goes right there. It doesn't go all the way up to the top. So after a few hours, making a little bit of progress, but and then I'm also, so I'm going to remove these, cut this whole opening. So this has a door here that's locked. I can't get into it, but I'm just going to remove that anyway. All this is going to be removed. I might have to replace this so it goes all the way across, and that'll be the where the bar sits. But yeah, making a little bit of progress. So I have all day to work on this today, so I'm going to try and get all of this cut out, and maybe all that cut out, remove all the flooring, take it down to its guts, its bones, so that I can just start sanding it down and getting rid of the rust, try to clean that up. Come on. Come on, just that last little piece. It's holding that on. Almost 60-year-old metal, it should just come off. Trying to get it to that corner. There we go. There's just a lot of dirt and horse manure over the years. Just took out the bed. It had a plastic or a rubber floor along with some carpet. So just removing all this, I'm going to get rid of all this wood. It looks like I'm gonna have to go underneath and undo some nuts, but I'm gonna get all this wood cleaned up, or all this dirt cleaned up. I'm gonna remove these wood panelings. See how this, see how bad this is? Yeah, that's why I'm just going to completely replace the sides with wood slats. And then I'll treat the outside so that it doesn't deteriorate. Okay, let's give a little update. This is a few hours later. I have removed the side walls completely. This one I had to remove everything. And this little brace, I think I'm going to remove that as well. And I'm going to add 2 of them. So it'll be split into 1, 2, 3 instead of splitting into 2. I think that'll give me more things to nail or to bolt the pieces of wood into. And I'm going to do the same on that side so they match. So got that completely out. There was a door there, got that out. All this sheet metal that's rust. I just decided I didn't want to deal with all of this rust because there's so much rust that I have to deal with in the rest of the trailer. I just decided that I'd rather just make this clean and smooth and use some lumber. I've got to clean out under there too. I don't know how I'm going to get that. All this is welded onto this, so I don't know how I'm going to get into there to clean it. But yeah, I think I'm going to end up removing these doors too. I'm just not sure. I know I got to get rid of this wood. I just don't know if I get rid of the entire door. I do like the little hearts on it, but maybe I can recreate that because it's a Hart trailer. All right, that's my progress so far. Gonna get to cleaning up some of these floorboards and maybe try to start removing some of those bolts, and still deciding what to do with this. I think I'm going to remove the top and maybe this as well, but I'm not sure yet. You know, I was just thinking, going into this, I was like, why don't more people do this? Like when I first bought the trailer, I was like, why don't more people do this? Take an old trailer, fix it up, you know, to make it a food cart or whatever. And as I'm doing this, I realize why more people don't do it, because it is a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work. So yeah, if you do this, just be prepared. It's a lot of work. So but it's something that I'm willing to finish. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of sanding with this, and with the wire brush. I want to show you the difference. And so what I'm going to do is, after I get all the loose rust off, I'm going to hit it with some rust converter. So this is how it looked before. See all the flakes? And then this is how it looks after sanding it a little bit. So I got all this rust that I've got to sand off before I can spray this rust converter on. So then I have a few holes here. I went and picked up a welder. So I'm going to try and weld those holes as well. So lots and lots of work though. It's crazy. Okay, quick update on where we are at so far. I've just taken off the back doors. They're over here. Man, were they heavy. I put them on the trailer over here, but these are actually pretty heavy. I also took off all of the side pieces, and these this angle iron had stuff welded to it that went all the way across like a cross member. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I marked this all up in Blender. So I'm going to have a cross member that's the same height as this trim, and it's going to be the same height as the countertop. So it's going to go across to this side, and then rather than having one single riser piece, I'm going to have two, one right here and one right here, and then that's going to go all the way up to the top. Okay, so it'll have the two vertical risers, and then it'll have the horizontal piece. And then because it's just now down to angle iron, I could butt wood up against this and put it all up and build the wall there. So this will be the same. It'll have three risers on this side, so it'll match, but it'll have the big open window here. So that's the difference. But it will it's all dictated by this cool design piece. So I know it doesn't look like much, but I have taken a lot of effort to get it to this point. So next on the list, I think I've got to figure out what to do with these, because there's a lot of dirt trapped down there, and I don't want dirt trapped down there. I've seen some that are just like, it's just a single bar that goes across here and welds down into the bottom there and comes across. And so I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, getting rid of this, so no wood or no dirt gets trapped in there. Okay, so I think next I'm going to do is remove this and this, because that's all going to get replaced with wood. This might end up staying. This floor might just cover it with laminate or something, but we'll see. I do have to get more angle iron to replace those bent places on the front. Things I didn't know to look for. I didn't know to look for stuff like this when finding a trailer. Apparently that's pretty common with these old trailers because the tongue is so short. But making a little bit of progress. Quick update on this trailer. I've removed the little shelf area here that was the tack room, and removed the front of that, removed all the windows, removed the vent. So there's a lot of holes to patch up. Cleaned it up a little bit. I'm going to spray it out. I removed the door. This one's going to be a problem because if we look down it, you see it's all wavy. So I've got to straighten that out. I also removed, I think I talked about removing the support beams. Right there is like some angle iron over on the other side, and I beat it out. So now it's a lot straighter than it was. It's not perfect. There's going to be diamond plating that covers the front of this anyway. So, but it is, it's almost to the point. I just got to remove the flooring, or I can start dealing with the rust. I guess I do have to remove these back little wings as well. Once I remove those, then I can start dealing with the rust. Okay, I wanted to give a quick update where we're at here. Started removing the floor. I've decided this is staying because this is kind of structural. And this is going to be storage anyway. I'm going to have like the water underneath here, like the fresh water and the wastewater tank. So this is all structural, and I'm gonna just leave this here, and I'm going to coat it with the rust converter. Started removing the floor, and of course, every single bolt, there's a nut on the bottom of it, and it just spins. Of course, they're not going to get out. They're all rusted. So I have to cut it out in sections, take the Sawzall, go underneath here, slice the bolts, because nothing can be simple, right? I can't just unscrew some bolts and have it work. Everything has to be difficult. Everything has to take 10 times longer than it should, because everything's rusted out. But that's what I get for buying such an old trailer. But it is it's going pretty good. As soon as I get this floor off, I'm gonna sand everything down. I've got some iron ordered for the cross members. I'm gonna be picking that up tomorrow. But everything is looking pretty good. So yeah. All right, I've been trying to figure out how to get motivation today. It's almost 7 o'clock, so I only have a few hours of light left. I picked up some metal from Wasatch Metal today, and that's going to frame the sides. But right now, I've just got to get rid of rust. I've just got to buckle down and just start sanding all this rust down. I took it to the pressure washer last night just to get rid of all the dirt. Still some left, but going to take the grinder to this and just get rid of all the loose rust so that I can spray it with a rust inhibitor. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Okay, let's see where we're at. I applied paint stripper a few minutes ago to some just certain spots. Looks like it's starting to work on some spots. Kind of like bubbling up on the roof. Looks like it's working pretty good. I think I'll probably leave this on here another half hour. I did it on the door here. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. It doesn't look like it's doing much at all. Maybe over here, nothing over here. So let's see this fender. This one doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe it's too hot. I don't know. I think maybe I'll apply it on the inside here on that blue, see if it does anything with the blue paint. I expect the yellow paint will come off easier than the blue because the blue was the base paint, and I don't know. I might just be painting over that. So we'll see. But when I scrape it, I will show you what it does when I scrape it. So it looks like it's going to take a few applications to get all this paint off. You can still see some of the blue underneath. Like this white comes off a lot easier than the blue. But still, it's not coming all the way off. So it's definitely going to be a few applications to get all this paint off, and then whatever I can't get off, I'll just take the grinder to. Okay, I've been learning to trash weld. So here are some terrible welds, but I think they're gonna hold. So I put this bar across, and then 2 bars going down to the frame, and this is gonna hold the countertop on the inside. But the line follows this trim all the way. And so I got one side done. I just got to do the other side. And the other side, it's going to be pretty similar, except the bars will go all the way to the top. So coming right along. Been working on converting the rust on the frame and the axles, and just slowly grinding away and grinding away. I will say that is a huge part of everything, is just trying to grind away the paint and the old metal, and yeah, go through a lot of consumables, like lots of grinding wheels, lots of grinding brushes, or the metal brushes. It's just taking forever, but it's coming along. Okay, we're gonna tack weld on these crossbars here. I'm gonna turn this bad boy on. I am not good at welding. I gotta plug this in. Is it not plugged in? Not plugged in. Okay, that'll hold that side. Let's do this side. Okay, I've got the side walls all framed in with the metal with my terrible weld job. That's the serving window. This is the back wall. It basically matches. It's got this angle iron right here for the counter. Goes all the way around the trailer. And yeah, that's mainly what I was working on today. Playing with this automotive filler primer, seeing how that looks and how that works over bare metal and painted surfaces. I think it'll work. I just have to sand the top and sand a whole bunch more before I can use more of it. So that's how my trailer is looking. Let's provide a little bit of update. After taking off the wheels, well, first let's back up. This door, I decided that it was too bent and twisted in order to attach again and use it as a door. So I've bolted it into place. And on the other side, I've put a couple welds on it. So now it's going to be like a faux door, and I'm just going to be able to access everything from the inside. But moving over to the wheels, I've taken all 4 wheels off because I've got to spray it for rust and everything. But I determined that these trailer brakes, the axle with the trailer brake needs to be replaced. So I'm keeping the axles, but I've got my new trailer brakes right here. So this is the new trailer brake unit, and I've just removed this one over here. It's all rusted and old. So I'm just going to clean up all of this. I've got some carb cleaner here. I'm just going to clean it all up, scrub it off, and then I'm going to spray the rusted parts with some what is this, rust reformer stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. After I get all this rust stuff done and these trailer brakes replaced, then I'm going to move on to finish sanding the outside and putting on some primer. So very slow process this, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it. Okay, I swear every single project turns into like 30 projects on this stupid trailer. So when I was looking at these, the leaf springs and what is this called? Can't remember what this is called. But this is supposed to be rotated up like this. So this is causing the axles to kind of like angle this way, which makes it ride funny. So I decided that I've got to replace these, or at least loosen them and then rotate them up. The problem is that these bolts will not come out unless I saw them off. So then I looked around online and found some replacement stuff, equalizer maybe it's called. But the kit I found came with 2 of these, 8 of these, and then a bunch of bolts. Okay. Well, the kit. Let me grab it here. This is bigger, so it's not going to work for that. Okay. But it still came with all the bolts and all the, I can't remember what these are called, shackle links or something like that. So let me show you what these look like. Problem is they're this much longer. Okay, so they're considerably longer. So then I got thinking about like, well, maybe I can make my own, because these are really thick too. These are like 3/8 inch thick or something. They're ridiculously thick, 1/2 inch maybe, I don't know. And these are a lot thinner. So I'm like, well, you know what I could do is I could just drill another hole to make that the right size, basically. I'd have all this extra at top, or I can cut that off. It doesn't really matter. Cutting it off is just extra steps. So, because the bolts, if I kept these on, the bolts aren't long enough. So now I'll replace the bolts with these, or I'll replace these linkage plates with these new ones, which are like 1/2 as thick. And so the bolts that I got will come with it. So the only thing I won't end up replacing is this, which is fine. But anyways, that's turned into a whole nightmare. So I've drilled 8 holes in these. So now I have these plates that'll work. I've just got to go through and cut all these off now. But it's just one more thing that is just, you try to do one thing on this stupid trailer and it turns into like 30 things. So next step is I'm going to cut all these off now. I'm going to try to remove them, but I don't think they're so rusted. I removed a few over on the other side, but they were so rusted, and I just have to cut them off. So see you on the flip side of that. Let's see how this trailer's looking. So I just put a first coat of bare metal primer on it, and it's supposed to be good for, rusted surfaces that you've sanded, bare metal, and painted surfaces that you've sanded. So I've gone through and I've sanded all of the surfaces, and I've done an initial coat on the outside to see how it is. Now, I did use a brush and a roller, and I'm thinking I should have busted out my paint gun. I've got an electric paint gun. It's just a mess to use. But I think I'm going to do another coat over the top of this with the gun. See if I can't even it out a little bit. And then it will also give me a little bit of practice. Probably use the gun on the inside as well. So that's what it's looking. And then after this, I'm going to go over it with some Bondo, because there's a lot of like pot marks and dents and stuff. I just want to clean up as much as I can. So that's the status so far. Well, that was messy. I just got my paint sprayer out and I sprayed the interior and the exterior. So I think I'm good with with primer. Next step is to decide what colors I want on this thing and where I want them. Can't decide if this bottom part's gonna be black or white, or I don't know yet. Probably white. Black might cover damages better. I don't know. But yeah, it was messy, but I got the primer on. So actually, sorry, next step is not paint, it's Bondo. Not sure what's going on, because this color, it's more green than the video shows. So I'm using it, it's called Seaside, and it's definitely more turquoise than this video is showing. It looks totally blue on the video. But if you look up a Rust-Oleum Seaside, that's the color I'm using. Let's see if it makes any different on the can. No, this totally looks blue, and it's not blue. It's very turquoise. But it only took 2 cans to do this much, all the front as a first coat. So let's say 2 more cans for the top, and then I go back over maybe 8 cans altogether. I bought 10. So all that's going to be this turquoise color, and then the fenders are going to be white. All these are going to be white, and the interior is going to be all white. So that is the progress so far. Guess I'll make a video while I'm waiting for stuff to dry. Taped everything off so I can spray the white down. I've got all the everything sprayed up, waiting for stuff to dry. I've also cut out some of these side panels here. This is going to be bolted onto here. I am concerned though. I also got a floor in. On the other side of the floor, I put, I painted it, and then I put some, what is it called? Got a can over here somewhere. Flex Seal on the bottom of it to try and make it waterproof. Yeah, this is my problem. The bolts I bought have this little square thing on the end. They're not going to fit here. I'm going to have to take those back. They're kind of expensive. Okay, I guess that's something I could do while I wait for it to dry. But anyway, got the whole inside painted white. All the outside pieces painted white. It's a mess. I got to clean up this yard. But yeah, I'm going to try and put the paneling on tonight. The sun is kind of going down. But I'm going to try and get some of the paneling on. And then it'll start to actually look like a trailer again. So, kind of excited. This, I'm going to paint this metallic, like a chrome color. And then the things that surround the window, the frame around the window, those are going to be chrome as well. So, hopefully it'll look cool. I was also thinking about white walls on the tires. Kind of give it a retro feel, since I feel like this color is kind of retro-y. Could be fun. Okay, progress. Okay, I have made some progress on this. I've added the sides. This is the food service side. If you come over here, this is the non-food service side, so it's just solid. But it's all painted, same color as the main color. I taped everything off, and I did the trim, painted the trim white, so it's all clean. There is one little piece I missed right here. I might tape that off, might leave it that color, who knows. But yeah, and then the inside is all white. So next step is to do the back doors. I've got to figure out the back door situation. Going to bolt them on here somehow, the hinges, but I'm just not sure yet how that's going to all work out. So that's the next thing I need to figure out. And then also the serving window and door that flips up. It'll probably be the same, made out of the same blue wood, because I have pieces of it left. So I'll just use that and then some other wood to reinforce it. But it's the progress so far. Okay, here is an update on my trailer. I have put on this diamond plate, for like the skid plate, and you'll notice here There's no seam right here because this is bolted shut, that door, so that won't be accessible. But I've put the windows back in, got some more plexiglass. They're not tightened because I don't have a helper right now, so I've got to get someone to help me tighten them. But it looks starting to look like a trailer. Sorry, my yard is messy from this, but it's starting to look like a trailer. And then if we go around the back, you can see I've got a couple doors on there too. Let's try and get those in shot. So I put some trim on around it to try and hopefully, ooh, there's a little spider, to hopefully make it a little bit more waterproof. And then I added a clear silicone. Can't really see it because it's dried, but then I've added this clear silicone everywhere else. You can see it's right here dry. It's white right here, but it's drying, so it'll be white. It'll be clear. But I've added it over all the seams, so hopefully to prevent water from entering in as it's starting to get cloudy actually. So next step, is to obviously tighten down those, and then I just got to get a little bit of hardware. I think I'm going to have this one stay mainly closed most of the time, and then this one will have like a bar, kind of like a bar lock on it, and that one will open. That will be the main door. But yeah, some things I had to do. I had to weld these on, which is a terrible weld job, but that's become my style because I couldn't bolt them in, and I couldn't find hinges that were long in this section, and I don't know, it was weird, so I just welded the hinges on. But it works, and it's coming along. So okay, I've got an update on this trailer, and it looks a little bit different. So what I've had to do, see how this is all metal? I found a guy selling some sheet metal for 30 bucks for a whole bunch of sheet metal online. So I went and grabbed it, and the reason is because yesterday we had a once in a century storm here, and it rained almost 5 inches here in 24 hours, which is insane. And so what it did was it warped all the sides of my trailer, like really bad. And so when I saw it this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to change that. So I went and found this metal. I don't know how thick it is, but I've been cutting it and welding it on, and I should have enough for all of the wood parts here. I don't know about the back, but at least for the sides. So we'll see how that looks. I'm gonna, obviously paint it blue and white and everything like that, but a little setback. But luckily I was able to find all this metal that I'm gonna use. So should work out, but we'll see. But that is what some of the changes that I'm having to make on this trailer because of warping. So I guess there's a reason why these are made out of metal. I think it's been a little while since I took some video of the progress. I have removed all the sides, and I have added doors to the back. I've removed the doors, added more doors to the back. The old doors are right over here on the ground. See how they're all warped? They were really bad. And then I added some latches. They're kind of ghetto, but I'm trying to figure out a way to close it. Now these are really thin doors. They're metal, but they're really flimsy, so I gotta figure out a way to make those stiffer. Maybe some thicker metal on the inside. I don't know, but it's not perfect. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make this waterproof, but that's where I'm at so far. Just gotta paint a whole lot of stuff, and I want to get all that done here pretty soon, but that's where I'm at so far. And I guess still got to figure out what to do with this, because this one didn't warp, but I also want it to match. Maybe after I get it painted on the sides, I'll see how it looks if it's still there.